Dean, and I teach in the philosophy department. So I guess the only contribution I can make to the discussion is about arguments or the reasons people give for their positions. I mean, a lot of claims having to do with homosexual sex or gay marriage or gay people raising children have more to do with psychology or sociology or anthropology, which I'm not especially an expert in. So the only thing that I can provide some useful insight on, I suppose, is whether the reasons given for some position are really good reasons and lead to the conclusions that people think they do. And I mean, I do think on this topic, like many others, there's a lot of possible bad arguments, which doesn't mean there aren't any good arguments, but just a couple of examples of some very common arguments that sometimes people take as decisive and settling everything, but are really very problematic and unconvincing. Sometimes people will say things like, well, of course homosexuality is wrong because it's unnatural. But there's a lot of problems with this kind of argument, right? It's not clear what natural means, and it only seems like a convincing sort of reason to give, I think, when you leave it very vague. And when you try to make it more specific, then you run into problems of, well, what does unnatural mean? And then even if it turned out that homosexuality or stem cell research or cloning or whatever is unnatural, does it really prove that it's wrong? So one kind of very problematic argument that might come up and we can talk about is the argument that homosexual sex is unnatural, therefore it's wrong. Just to quickly mention another among many problematic kinds of arguments. Sometimes people say, well, of course homosexuality is wrong because if everyone were homosexual, then the human race would become extinct. True, I suppose. If everyone were always exclusively homosexual and never had heterosexual intercourse at all, the human race would go extinct. But, you know, so what, right? This isn't a danger. This isn't like the human race. We've only got 8 billion left. We're just on the verge of extinction. So it's not at all clear that this is a convincing argument either. Many arguments may come up, and we can talk about them. Those were just a couple of examples. One more thing. I suppose that to many people, their position on homosexuality is associated with religion. I'm not particularly expert in any religion. And in fact, I'm almost equally non-expert in all of them. But a couple things to point out. If you say, of course, religions are opposed to homosexuality, well, that's not quite right. I mean, some are and some aren't. A major example is there are almost 1 billion Hindus in the world. Hinduism does not have any particular anti-homosexual position. Also, among branches of Christianity, some types of Christianity, both Catholic and Protestant, do have an anti-homosexual position. They think homosexual sex is wrong in some way. Others don't. I mean, there are many Protestant branches of Christianity that actually, one branch of the Baptist Church now ordains gay ministers. Some of them perform marriage ceremonies between people of the same sex. So it's misleading to say religion is opposed to all homosexuality. Some religions are and some aren't. And just a final point, there's two different views about what kind of insights religion could give us about morality. Now you might think, and this is not any newfangled view about religion and morality, you might think that religion does give us insight, but God gave humans the power of reason and thinking, so whatever is revealed through religion, humans should be able to understand, and there should be, we should be able to think about it and discuss it and come to the right conclusions. This is a very long-standing traditional part of, as far as I know, all of the traditional Abrahamic one-God religions, Islam, Christianity, Judaism. There's another view of religion that says, well, no, we don't have to understand things. It's just that God tells us what to do, and maybe a few experts sort of have insight into that, a few human experts, but all we really should do is listen to them. Well, I guess there's nothing that someone could say that would really convince you of any particular position about homosexuality or anything if you think, number one, my religion is the correct one. Number two, via holy texts or experts in my religion, I know exactly what God wants. And number three, my religion or these experts tell me that X is wrong or X is right, whether it's homosexuality or stem cell research or whatever. But of course, then what's the point of talking about it, right? If one person thinks, my religion clearly tells me this is wrong or this is right, and another person says, oh no, I'm the one who has the truth, and this religion is wrong and this is right, then there's not much, all you can do is shout at each other, right? So there is another tradition within religion that says, well, whatever is revealed also should be able to be understood by humans, so there's a point to talking about things and seeing what the reasons are. That's all I have.